Does it, Pep? Let's check in with our guy. What's going on, Pep?
Oh, the sport's coming down hard. In fact, tonight we got a big one on Thursday Night Football, man. It is two desperate teams with the playoff hunt in full effect right now for the Steelers and the Vikings. Thursday Night Football. I love it when there's so much on the line because both these teams are right there on the bubble. One in the NFC, one in the AFC. They're right there.
I have to admit that, when I saw Big Ben fall on his face and he's been playing so bad, and then, I thought he was going to retire, and then there's all that talk that it will. I'm surprised. What I'm trying to say is I'm surprised that the Steelers are even still alive.
I mean, the same with the Vikings, who, if you remember just last weekend, gave up the first win to the Detroit Lions. So it kind of feels like whoever wins this game is going to keep on going with their season right on the bubble. Whoever loses this game is probably dead and done.
Yes, the prize is a downward slide.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the two worst, best teams. Like two teams, like you're like, okay, they should be in the playoffs or right there. But yeah, a loss in this Thursday Night Football game could really hurt their chances. I mean, Pittsburgh's right there on the outside looking in. Minnesota, the same thing. I mean, there's still time. There's still several games left in the regular season. But this is a big one for Thursday Night Football with Pittsburgh and Minnesota. And I should say, for the Vikings, starting running back Dalvin Cook is still questionable, so our guy Alexander Madison, the pride of San Bernardino High School, Cardinal City, he could be getting a bunch of carries from out of the backfield again. And Cameron Bynum from Centennial High School, starting DB for the Vikings, he's also questionable. So I'm hoping when our IE guys get out there and make some plays tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Something to watch. I like that. I love it.
Yeah, I love having that local angle on the Thursday Night Football.
So fun.
They're all over the place, man. Thursday Night Football should be a good one. And this weekend, NFL, Raiders against Chiefs. This is, a couple weeks ago, it was the first place Raiders against the last place Chiefs. Now it's the first place Chiefs against the last place Raiders. Things have drastically changed the last couple of weeks in the AFC and specifically the AFC West.
And yeah, even having that said, the seasons are going wild for them. Just the teams themselves and their play is going wild. I mean, the Chiefs are all over the place. I know they're starting to come back or whatever right now, but this could be a very wild game.
And I mean, within that division, the Raiders would love to be the team that makes them stumble once again. So if they could somehow pull it off, it would just throw chaos into the AFC West again.
They've been taking it in the old sucker for the last 2 years. So yeah, they'd love to get the Chiefs back.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kansas City's 8-4, right? So that's like you look at the record, you're like, yeah, they're pretty good, but they're still not the old Kansas City. They're not hammering teams. They're not blowing teams out. Like it's not scary to go into Arrowhead, go into Kansas City, and try to beat the Chiefs anymore. It's doable. So if you're the Raiders, you're thinking, okay, this is a game that we can win. And like for Kansas City, we didn't talk about Monday Night Football yet, but Monday Night Football, the Patriots won in that crazy, cold, windy snowstorm. So the Patriots are actually the number one seed in the AFC. Kansas City still has a real shot, though, of matching New England in terms of record, but they're just still not the same Kansas City team.
The playoffs should be interesting.
It's funny that Charger fans are actually going to be cheering for the Raiders this weekend.
Very strange, but true.
Chargers have the Giants. That is a must-win game, a game they should win. But yeah, if the Raiders can pick off Kansas City somehow, once again, we're having this conversation of like, who's going to come out of the AFC? Who's going to win the AFC West? All it takes is one game to kind of shift everything back to where we were a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I thought the Giants were going to be a rollover game for my Eagles, and it just turned into a defensive struggle. Nobody's scoring, and the Giants pulled it off. So, I mean, the Giants, they have it at times. They can be sneaky good.
Yeah, look out.
You got to look out every single week, right? Even who did Jacksonville beat? Like Buffalo a couple weeks ago? Like anything could happen. So that's why you always got to have your guard up in the NFL. But this is a winnable game for the Chargers. And 40, you're right. Yes, if the Raiders beat the Chiefs, that would be good for the Chargers in terms of in the division standings. Yeah. Guys, let's talk a little college football as well. The Heisman finalists were announced. They always pick 4 guys, right, as the 4 finalists. And a shout out to C.J. Stroud, the quarterback for The Ohio State. He's from the Kook. He's from Rancho Cucamonga. And he is one of the 4 finalists, along with Bryce Young, the quarterback at Alabama, Kenny Pickett, the QB at Pittsburgh, and the Michigan defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson.
I did not realize that Bryce Young was from Modern Day.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And I was like, wow, he's good.
I mean, yeah, we kind of forgot that a lot of our SoCal talent was going off to these major programs in the NCAA there for a while. And now hopefully with Lincoln Riley coming around here, we'll actually keep some of them here at USC.
Yeah, a player like Bryce Young go to USC. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Different story.
No, you guys are exactly right, and I think that's part of the problem maybe with USC and or UCLA is a lot of the top players in the Inland Empire and Southern California, they're not staying here. They're going elsewhere in the Pac-12. They're going to the SEC. They're going to the East Coast. They're going to Notre Dame. They're going to all these different places. And USC does have several guys from Centennial High School. Full disclosure, they do have a bunch of guys from Centennial High School. But outside of that, like they're missing out on a lot of IE and SoCal guys. And Bryce Young, you're right. He is a SoCal guy, but he's out there in Alabama.
Yeah.
Keep him home.
Yeah.
So best of luck, though, to C.J. Stroud from Rancho Cucamonga, the Ohio State quarterback, finalist for the Heisman. And also a shout-out to Riverside City College. The Tigers will be playing for the state championship Saturday against City College of San Francisco. And the Tigers trying to go back-to-back. You got to go back to 2019, pre-COVID. But that was the last real season they had. So they're trying to go back-to-back state championships for RCC this weekend.
Yeah.
Go RCC.
Go RCC.
And they've got a bunch of Centennial guys as well. Centennial guys are everywhere. Sorry. You can find Centennial guys on Thursday Night Football with the Vikings, in the state championship game, at USC. They're everywhere.
In the studio.
The closest thing I have to an alma mater for college would be RCC for like the 3 semesters I went there.
Yeah.
That's not bad, is it?
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
And finally, guys, to the NBA, a couple notes here. So Kawhi Leonard is still out with that knee injury, and there is no end in sight on his return to the LA Clippers. And the Clippers and the Lakers just kind of, moseying along through the season, just above the 500 mark, but neither team, really doing something right now. Maybe it's the injuries, for the Clippers. Maybe it's chemistry with the Lakers. It's really hard to say. But when you start looking at the Western Conference, Golden State is back, man. Golden State has the best record in the NBA. The Phoenix Suns look like they're going to be that other elite team in the West. The Lakers and the Clippers just keep falling farther and farther back. And I know, hey, just get into the playoffs. But, man, Golden State and Phoenix look really, really good right now.
And then we're hearing that the coach, Frank Vogel, is catching a ton of heat, like he's going to get fired. And he's the reason that wouldn't that suck, though, to have to try to control all these guys, including LeBron?
Right.
You're in a tough spot, man. And now you're hearing you're going to get fired. That's not good. But
I mean, when you have all that talent on one team, and then you're seeing a record like 13-12, and you're the 6th seed in the West, while the Warriors are 21-4,
right.
And the Suns right there with them as well. I mean, the season is a long season, but those two teams are already separating themselves and are going to be untouchable almost by the rest of the West.
See, if I'm Frank Vogel and I have a reporter ask me a question like that, I just turn around and go, LeBron. Can you answer this guy, please?
You
General
this.
Manager question 2, LeBron.
You got this.
And also kind of related to the Lakers, too, how crazy was it earlier this week to see the Staples Center letters being taken off of the new Crypto.com arena?
I have to admit, there was a little
right.
There's a little piece of you, and I mean it's after an office supply chain, but obviously there's a little more to it.
It's so much more than just what the company of Staples is, right?
Where's that going? Did someone buy it? Are they is some rich person, some Kobe fan gonna put that up in their man cave?
Yeah, I didn't see what the plans were for the letters. I just saw that they were taking them off and putting them in the back of a truck. It was pretty crazy.
It's just when you see things change, us old folks.
Yeah.
We don't like change, do we?
Christmas Day is when it officially switches over and the new identity takes in.
Pep, we're gonna make it. Tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, check it out on Inland Sports. If you're down with the local guys in the NFL, stuff like that, that's Inland Sports all over social media and the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
Thanks, Pep.